Hey guys, it's Bear from Taco Logic, and I just watched the anime called Konosuba, or A God's Blessing on a Wonderful World. Now, I was going to skip over the show because it was on a Tuesday and I really feel like reviewing it today, but I was like, you know what, I like making reviews, so let me review this anime. It's another RPG anime that came out on, what was that show that came out? Grimguard. Another RPG anime that came out similar to Grimguard, but this has a different twist to it. No, it's comedy, a light comedy, and actually it's very interesting. I mean, it's cliche in some aspects, but it's very interesting. And then one thing I have to point out really real quick is that there is a similarity between the character of the goddess Aqua and the world God only knows characters Aqua. And I was like, maybe this is a reference, or maybe this character is from a reference to this character, or like this anime was designed on a reference of Aqua from the world God only knows. And I was like, it's a possibility, but she just looks so similar to Aqua, or the main character if it's not Aqua. And like you even had like the little ribbon and it being like a demon, but she's really a goddess. I'm like, this is so familiar. At first, I thought it was by the same creator, and I looked it up. I was like, no, it's not by the same creator, and I don't know if it's by the same artist, but like, I'm pretty sure it's not. But it was like, I just noticed that similarity. But on to the actual review, guys. So we have this main character who's basically a total shut-in. He's a otaku, much like most of us, right? So we have a character that probably we can relate with. And of course, he played RPG games, role-playing games, and he's walking outside one day, and I think he's going home. He was staying up for 3 nights in a row. He put 3 all-nighters in a row, and he was just going home, and he was tired. And then out of nowhere, he sees this girl from the school. He sees her, and he sees her on her phone, and then she looks like she's about to get hit by a car or a truck. He's like, oh my god, there's a truck right there. So he go and he pushes her to save her off the way. Very heroic in my opinion, right? No, not really. Because he dies from that accident. You're like, oh shoot, the main character died in the first episode. But they didn't really make it really sad. Because this show, again, like I said, is very comedic. It's very all about comedy. It's very funny and entertaining. So we have the main character. He comes and he basically wakes up but he's dead. And he talks with his goddess, Aqua, as I mentioned before. And Aqua explains that he's dead. But then she started messing with him, started making fun of him. He was like, well, is the girl I saved, is she alive? And I was like, yes. He was like, oh, then my heroic deed is not in vain, my death not in vain. And she was like, well, really, she wasn't really going to die either way. She was going to actually be unharmed by the accident. He's like, what do you mean unharmed by the accident? I just died from this accident. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, it was a tractor. Tractors don't really cause that much damage. And she was like, well, the tractor was gonna stop anyway. And I'm just like, he died in vain. He died in vain. So she started laughing. He was like, what? Really? He was like, yeah. He's like, so wait, so how did I die from a tractor accident? Well, she's like, well, actually you died of shock. You can die of shock. It happens when your heart just go on cardiac arrest and you just die of shock because you're so scared. He died of shock and he actually beat himself, and she was explaining how everybody was laughing at him. The doctors was laughing at him. His parents was laughing at him. Noticed that there was a little pause inside the video just now, so if you can still hear my voice, I'm sorry. Please don't let it disrupt the video. My laptop has problems. Like I said, it does have water damage from a fire that I was recently in, so I'm sorry. But back onto the review. So apparently he been given an opportunity to he got 3 choices: be reincarnated, go to heaven, or go into this other world, because this other world is ruled by this demon king whose army is just subjugating the human population there, and then their population is declining. So as gods and goddesses, they don't want this to happen, so they send people there to try to subjugate the demon king, so trying to kill the demon king, get rid of the demon king. So the main character, being an otaku, being a gamer, was like, well, we give you the decision. You want to choose the funnest route, goes to this world with a demon king and all about adventurers and guilds and magic. Cause I always wanted to try this, RPG. Of course, you always wanted to be inside a game, RPG game, where you actually can do stuff, right? So the main character does that, and he goes and he's like, you can have one thing that you can bring with you, one item, one power. I'll give you one thing. So he decided. For me, I would have picked immortality or absolute power. Like, I would just said something like some crazy type of thing. Actually, I would have said that I wish that I had the power to grant any of my wishes that I want unlimitedly, with no regrets, and it's fine-tuned. That's what I would have picked. But he picked he did pretty smart. He was like, I choose you. You are a goddess. I choose you to be one item with me. And because it's the law and it's a rule, she has to comply to it. And I'm just like, that's really crazy because she's a goddess. She's the one who's setting the rules straight, and then nobody really predicted this. So they, they have another goddess come out, take her place, and they be the ritual. So she goes into the world, and then he is just spitting all these facts like, well, we gotta do this, we gotta do this. He's very confident because again, he's otaku. He played role playing games like we all do, right? And the goddess is really useless per se because she doesn't really know enough about video games that he does. But then they get to a slump where they don't have no money, so they can't really do nothing because they gotta join the adventurer guild. Like he was right, go to adventurer guild, any money, level up to try to defeat the demon lord. Have no money. Then she tries to, she's the god. She tries to in the world. This world believes inside this goddess, so the parallel world believes inside the same goddesses. So, and she's like, "Well, who do you believe in? I am a goddess." And then the old man don't believe him, but they still get her money, so they was able to join the Adventurers Guild. They was able to join the guild, a restriction fleet, and they got their cards printed out, and then they was like, "Okay, you see what power? Put your hand over here, see what power we got." The main character, him being a taco, you would think that he would get some awesome power, but he just has good luck and above average intelligence because of course like I said he's really smart because he did choose, if anybody, he chose the goddess to be with him, which is really good, so you have a partner with him inside this world. And the goddess went and she actually has a below average intelligence and below average luck, so it's like they fit together nicely as a pair in my opinion. But I'm just like, how can a goddess be dumber than a human? Like, let's think about that. Goddess is different than a human. But so, and everybody marvel at the goddess having this power because they have an archpriest. It's like one of the advanced classes, and she goes straight to the advanced class, and nobody really people saw this. So that's how basically the whole episode was like. And then you see a montage of them working, doing labor work, partying, drinking beer. I don't know how old this guy is. Of course, he's in high school, but he's drinking beer and everything. And then I'm just like, see this happening, and then they was like, wait, we're not supposed to be labor, we're supposed to go defeat the demon king. I was like, she suggested that they go and go on the killing quest, so they're trying to level up because they're still on level 1 after all these days. I don't know how many days it was, but they're still on level 1. So, in my opinion, it's a very good anime. It has potential. It's entertaining at the least. At the least, it's entertaining. It's not original and it's cliche at some points, but at least it's entertaining. I would go out and watch it. It's very entertaining. You would enjoy it, despite the cliches, despite it being original, and despite having Grimgar as other RPG that most likely is going to be better than this one. This has the comedic aspect of it, and it's way funnier than Grimgar, in my opinion, so far. So, how did you like my review, guys? Just tell me. Of course, if you say a good review, I like it. But have a good day, have a good night, have a good afternoon, wherever you are. Veer is out. I can't do that. I took that from Chibi. It has been Veer from Takalaja, guys.